Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Lazidev. I am an iOS developer with quite experience in iOS developing for some time now, and it's been great. I really like iOS, and yeah, I've been in it. And there's this topic that usually comes up a lot: generic network requests. I'm sure you've heard it before. So today, I'm going to walk you through how to construct a generic network request. I'll basically be using combine, but you are okay to use your any framework, network framework you would want to. You could use Alamo Fire, but in my case, in this tutorial, we'll be using combine from Swift, iOS themselves, Apple themselves. So yeah, enough of the talking. Let's get started. Let's open Xcode. So this is going to be a playlist I'll be doing. So in this first intro, I'll just walk you through the code, the whole project, then and what we want to achieve. Then in the subsequent episodes, we will dive into details of the steps one by one. So yeah, like I said, let's show the code. So let's open this code. So I'll show you the code, then after in the subsequent videos, then we go step by step on how to do into details, and I'll explain into details. Yeah. So yeah, um so to to achieve this, we actually need to create a protocol. So let me explain how we are going to achieve this. So you need a protocol for your request. Then you would need an endpoint enum that will implement the protocol. So just like how I was saying, you go into a network manager. Yeah, sure. So you would have a protocol like this, and the protocols will have a properties of a request. So the URL, the HTTP method, and whether the request you are sending is JSON encoded or not. JSON encoded meaning you are sending the body params and not the query params. Yeah. So with this, then you create your enums. The enums will be the enums for the endpoints. So all the endpoints you'll be using in your project, you create enums for them. Then on the extension of the enum, then you implement the request which has the properties of the URL, the HTTP method, then the JSON encoded, whether you're sending a query params or a body params. So so this is the code. So with this, the content type, you return JSON. Then this is what we are talking about. So with the help of the enums, we're able to specify which of them sends a query params and which of them sends body params. Then with your HTTP method too, with the help of the enums, are able to specify. Then the URL endpoint, which is the most important part. I think that it's the most important part too. You are able to specify which endpoint goes with which URL goes with each endpoint. Yeah. So then I have a class to construct the URL. Then there's also an endpoint and an enum that returns the string of the endpoint. HTTP methods. Then we have our error type. Yeah. So this is basically the protocol and the endpoint enum that extends the protocol. Yeah. So after all this, the most important thing, then we come to the most important thing, which is the request. So I have a class network request, and this I'm using combine. So make sure you import combine. Then in here, in here. Then you have our function, a request function, that takes a generic decoder. So the type will be generic, the generic return type will be generic. Then it will take the endpoint, which is an enum, then the params, the query params. Then the function will return any publisher, which will return the type and the error. So in here you do what you normally do in any network request, but then now we are using, if specify everything in the endpoints in so based on the endpoints you choose, it will specify which URL is going, it will specify which HTTP method is going, then it will specify whether you are sending a query params or a body params. So yeah, this basically the overview. Then you move on to your view models, then you would implement all this. So yeah, this is basically the overview of it. I'm sure you like it, and it's gonna be interesting. So in the next videos I'll walk you through each part, then we'll delve into details, then we would explain all. So thank you for watching this, and if you are here, it's gonna be interesting. Subscribe, turn on the notification, and we can't wait for the next episodes. Thank you. Bye bye.